Hello, everybody, and welcome to the drive-thru. I'm your host, Tony T. After that awkward start, we'll get it rolling here as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. We want to give you enough time to get those bets in for the prime time games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru, is we give you live free sports picks for the primetime games Monday through Friday. And to help us out, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a look up now who's on the show. All right, we got Zawacky join us. Joe D'Amico from Las Vegas. James Clark will sign in about midway through the top of the hour. And we got Joe Duffy with us. Jovan Burts is with us. Goran Kucar. Chris Ruffolo will co-host, and we got Ninos again here on the show. Let's take a look at how they'll line up. We got Duffy, D'Amico, Zawacky, Burts, Ninos, Ruffolo, Clark, Kucar, and then I will close this one out. All right, Chris, Cubs got their bats out for a change.
Yeah. I looked away for maybe half an hour, and I looked back, and they're up 11-2, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's how we're going to start our Friday, but there's still tons of action to go tonight. I'm ready to get it started.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get it started here. Let's welcome Joe Duffy to the show. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs. Joe, how's it going today?
Pretty good. Continue with the theme of awkward start. I guess I get to start the show.
Here we go. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, we'll take a look at the game tonight, 8 Eastern time. Thunder here to host the Wizards. Wizards laying 10, total 231.5.
Yeah, it is true. I've been known to pick some road favorites in the NBA. We've explained many times why, and road favorites are the one sport they do well in the NBA. We have a system here that essentially compares the team's straight-up records, their points per game margin, and then to the point spread, and using the odds makers' knowledge against them and coming up with overvalued against undervalued teams. And such a system is 426-221 that does favor Washington here. Road favorites are small underdogs on a massive high scoring streak are a very good play. And again, it makes sense because 9.5 points in a game that's expected to be low scoring isn't quite as much in a game that's expected to be high scoring. And the fact that Washington scored 117 points or more in 6 straight does mean this big number is well within reach. And we don't really have to worry about Washington overlooking an inferior opponent. Look, they've all of a sudden played themselves right into a playoff race. They won 8 of 9. They're playing their best basketball of the year. They have to win because they do want to stay in this playoff race and they can continue to climb. So this is a game I'm not worried, of course, in the least about Washington overlooking OKC. So Washington minus the 9.5. W marks the center square.
All right, Joe Duffy here on laying the points here, the Washington Wizards. Chris, I can't argue that play because when you look at the net rating over that past 9 games, the Wizards just greatly outperforming the Thunder. I think that net rating of a plus 20 on their side because the Thunder near about last in offensive efficiency. As you know, they're going with the younger players, sitting Horford and Alexander. And, of course, the Wizards are just also, when you look at that 9 games spread there, 9-game span there, the Wizards number 1 in defensive efficiency. Where did that come from?
It's just the Wizards clicking at the right time, and I think that this is another spot where they're going to click. Like Joe said, these are the spots, the softer schedule spots that the Wizards need to take advantage of, and I think they're going to. I mean, the Thunder, Tony, like you said, I think we can easily say they've mailed it in on the year, and like Joe said, the Wizards aren't overlooking teams. They just beat Oklahoma City by 12 at home a couple days ago. They beat up on the Pistons by 21 at home, so they're taking care of business when they have to. So I'd lay the points with the Wizards here too.
Well, all agreement here on the Wizards laying 10 here against the Thunder, and of course this one you'll watch at the 8 Eastern time NBA League Pass channel. All right, Joe, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium. Good card, big card tonight from the NBA. We got the baseball in action, 14 games on the card. What you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, tonight it's a little bit more about NBA. I got to admit, a couple of my best systems in baseball have to do with the same series adjustments and over adjustments. So Fridays often isn't one of my biggest baseball nights, but I got 2 NBA plays for tonight. They're up. They're each backed by a tremendous super systems that we've won with together for many, many years. So get a really nice NBA portfolio tonight at Pick Dogs.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Joe Duffy over at Pick Dogs Premium. He's got his place for tonight. That 1-day pass. Take those winnings and make that upgrade to long-term pass. He's had a 3- and 7-day all-sports pass over there at Pick Dogs Premium. You get every play that Joe releases over on the site. NBA, Major League Baseball. You set the terms when you make the purchase over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, Joe, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk with you next week.
We shall. I'm out to see Georgia's own Sean Mullins at a brewery, so I hope you guys have as good of a night as I do.
I hope so. All right, Joe, good night and have good fun tonight. Joe Duffy here on the drive-thru. All right, we'll continue on the show. Let's go over to Las Vegas, Nevada right now. Let's welcome Joe D'Amico to the show. Here, Joe's been very good here on the drive-thru with his free plays. Joe, how's it going?
I am wonderful, Tony, Chris. Thank you for having me. Very excited about a great weekend this weekend. Obviously, I know I get asked all the time. I get teased from the guys on the show. I know we get questions. Why do I wear sunglasses? Guys, when you're as cool as Joe D, the sun shines on you even when you're indoors. Just to answer your questions.
All right, very good, very good. All right, Joe, let's take a look at the game tonight, 7 Eastern time. It's a Mets hosting the Nationals here, a divisional game. Mets laying 292, total sits here at 7.
Well, guys, I want everybody to go into this weekend with a big payday, and that's what I have for you right now. This is one of the highest prices we've seen thus far in the 2021 season. And I get it, guys. I get that Jacob deGrom is on the mound. The right-hander is the team's ace. And I looked back. He owns an 8-4 record in 20 career starts versus the Nationals. No question, a very respectable record. However, the Mets offense ranks 30th. 30th in baseball. I mean, folks, come on. They're accounting for an anemic 3 runs per game. That's 3 runs flat. Not 3.25, not 3.05, 3.00 runs per game. Granted, the Nationals, their bats aren't that much better, but this is a team that's won their last 2 games coming into today's contest, and they've taken the last 3 matchups with New York from a season ago. Couple of numbers for you. Washington, 4-1 the last 5 versus right-handed starters. New York, 1-4 the last 5 overall. I'll take the plus 260 with the Nationals teams. That absolutely has a puncher's chance right here, guys. Take Washington for a big Friday payday. Go into the weekend with a bankroll.
All right, Joe Duffy here on the Nationals here at plus to about 260 here against the Mets. Chris can't argue that. The Mets 30th in runs scored this year.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what Jacob deGrom's given up, 1 earned run in his 3 starts this year, and somehow the Mets are still 1-2 in those starts. I mean, the problem with Jacob deGrom is just that he hasn't had run support from this Mets offense, and I don't see that changing. I mean, you go back to 2019, which was our last normal year, and 14 times in that season, deGrom got 3 runs or less of support. So I think that if Eric Fedde can keep the Mets bats in check, I could easily see the Nationals stealing this game as well. I was looking at this game this morning, and I like it even more at almost 3 times our money.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, all agreement here on Nationals are plus 260 against the New York Mets. This one to start here at the top of the hour, MLB Extra Innings channel. All right, Joe, let's take a look over at Big Dog Stream, where you're doing fantastic work in the NBA. 770 units of profit in the NBA document. Big card tonight in baseball and NBA. What you have going on over the site?
Well, sports fans, tonight we go for another sweep. I've got 3 big winners on the Pick Dogs board for you. I'm riding a 12-4 NBA run today. I have 1 big winner. I just got 1 big game on the Friday NBA card, the Celtics-Nets matchup. I love this game, guys. I also 3-1 my last 4 baseball plays. I've got 2 huge plays today. My 5-2, that's 5-2 this season, my Grand Slam, and my Interleague game of the week. Every year in and year out, I make you money in interleague play. I got my ILGOW, my IL game of the week. I know that I'm definitely going to go 3-0 tonight. I'm going to tell you how sure I am, guys. I got all 3 games up right now, exclusively at Pick Dogs. This is my favorite website on the planet for just $75. Grab a broom, guys, because together we sweep the board.
All right, guys, get on board here with Joe D'Amico over at Pig Dogs Premium. See the number here, 770 units of profit in the NBA. There's all documents, so when you go to the site, you can check all his plays there. He's got that 1-day pass tonight. Those three plays. He's telling you he's going to sweep the board tonight. So get on board with that 3-pack. And of course, tomorrow when you get those winnings, make the upgrade to long-term pass. He's got a 3, 7, and 30 all sports pass. Get every play that Joe will release on the site. You set the terms there. Even better, that 2-for-1 capper special is a great value. So check Joe D'Amico tonight over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Joe, it's always great having your show. Have yourself a great night. Enjoy the weekend in Vegas, and we'll talk with you next week.
Thanks, Tony, Chris, everybody on the panel, everybody out there. Good luck, and have a winning day.
All right, our buddy Joe D'Amico here from Las Vegas here on that Big Dog with the Nationals, and get that 3-pack from over at the side. We'll continue on here on the drive. So before we do, guys, reminder, subscribe to our channel. Free picks every day. It all gets started with the morning show at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. You got Mitch, you got Rod Zawacky, of course, Brian Biller as well. Ron Marinelli will check in on occasion on the weekend, so check them out there on the site. Of course, we've got those 2 YouTube shows, the early and the late. And of course, we're here Monday through Friday with the drive-through at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, we always ask you guys, give us the thumbs up, those likes. Don't forget to do that because that helps us build our audience, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. It does. I mean, it's like I keep saying, it's crazy how far we've come in less than a year doing the drive-through, and it's just crazy where Pick Dogs has come in just over a year. I mean, it's all thanks to the support that we've gotten from the Pick Dogs family. We're up over 40,000 strong in terms of subscribers. And it's just mind-boggling. But again, we couldn't do it without you guys. We appreciate all the love and support. You guys are the reason that we do this. Just keep giving us those likes, those subscriptions. Like Tony said, it helps us out a ton.
Absolutely, guys. That thumbs up, that like, we greatly appreciate it. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. It's Friday. It's Steak Friday, and we got Rod Zawacky on the show. Rod, how's it going?
Going good, buddy. Going good. Bacon wrap tenderloins are all marinated and ready to go on the barbecue.
Oh, sounds great. Sounds great. All right, you got a game for us tonight. We're dog hunting tonight, which I like here. Another game here. Braves to host the D-backs. Braves land about $1.60, total 8.5.
Yeah, well, we're not looking at the Braves. We don't want to lay minus 160. We're going to look at the Diamondbacks, who have just been on fire. They've won their last 5 games. And then you look and you dig in, and they're 5-1 their last 6 games in Atlanta. Luke Weaver's going on the mound. Luke Weaver last year was 2-0 against these Braves. He won 1 game in Atlanta, and he won once at home. So he's beat him twice last year, so he's definitely seen these guys. And I think he comes in here and has a great night. Not much to say. I think the first game back for the Braves off their little bit of a long road trip, I think it's going to be a quiet night for them here. Bats go quiet. Luke Weaver shuts them down. Take the Diamondbacks on the money line over the Atlanta Braves.
D-backs money line plus 147 against the Atlanta Braves after that big run production they had against this. I don't know if you caught the post game with those guys dancing in the locker room. It was pretty funny with the D-backs with that big win. But the D-backs here, bats are coming alive here.
Yeah, I mean the offenses are waking up, and I've got to agree with Rod on this one. I was leaning towards Atlanta if Inoa was starting, but now I see it's Kyle Wright going for the Braves, and he's not a pitcher I'm looking to back. Career ERA over 6. Like Rod said, Luke Weaver, as much as he's had his ups and downs, he's been on against the Braves, and he's been on this season. He's only, I think, had 1 walk in 16 innings. I read some crazy number like that. But Weaver's starting to turn on, and him and Zach Gallen are going to be the cornerstones for this Diamondbacks pitching rotation for a few years. So I like the Diamondbacks in this spot as well.
Agreement here on the D-backs plus 147 against the Braves. This one's 7:20 Eastern Time, MLB Extra Innings channel. All right, Rod, let's take a look at Pick Dogs Premium tonight. Big cards here, NBA and Major League Baseball. We got some hockey up there. We see it past 30 days. Hey, the morning crew's doing great up there. 825 units of profit past 30 days. That is all documented. What you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, we've been rolling the last month. It's been a hot month for us here. We got my Steak Friday. We got a Steak Friday 5-pack. I've got 2 NBA plays, 2 MLB plays, and 1 10-star NHL play of the day. These 5 best bets are the perfect opportunity for us to kickstart a massive weekend ahead. Jump aboard after we win today. Grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day, grab a 30-day. All we do is win-win. Or grab a 2-for-1 capper deal. Can't beat those deals. You get a deeply discounted rate for grabbing 2 cappers for the price of 1. Jump on board the 2-for-1 capper deal. Can't miss that out. Pair us up, and you'll have yourself a wonderful weekend.
Absolutely, guys. Get on board here. Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the numbers here. 825 units of profit past 30 days. Get on board. That 2-for-1 capper special is a great buy right now. Why don't you pair yourself up with Rod, maybe Big Al, maybe Little Al if you like the hockey there. You got Chris, Brian, Mitch. Pair them up with another capper, go long term. That's the best value over at Pig Dogs Premium. Actually, a really good value, Rod, is what you're part of that YouTube early and late package. I know that's going to be changing here very shortly.
Yeah, jump aboard the YouTube Premium. We've been on fire with that. I think we're like 10-2 the last 2 days. We've been on fire. So jump aboard. Just follow the little link below that says join. Your best bet is to be do it while you're on your computer. Sometimes it doesn't like the Apple iPhone so much. So it works better when you're on the computer. Just follow the little link below, and it'll tell you how to upgrade, get that $50 package where it gives you our plays in the morning and our afternoon plays. And keep an eye out for the next level coming up. beginning of May 1st here, we'll have a new $100 show with a no live betting show and all sorts of good stuff coming to the YouTube Premium. Follow the link below. Can't miss out. Great value.
Great value there. Be sure to check out the YouTube Premium link right below. All right, Rod, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great night. We'll tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I guess it's you and Mitch looking at the Saturday card.
No, it'll be me, Mitch, and our buddy Brian Bittler. He'll be on the morning show. He's able to tune in tomorrow, so you'll get all three of us tomorrow morning on the morning show. Just have yourself a wonderful evening. Let's get this Diamondback winner for us tonight, and tune in tomorrow for some more winners.
Absolutely. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. It'll be at 3-7 tomorrow in the morning. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's bring in Jovan Burts. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. He's doing fantastic work there. Let's go ahead and dial him right now. We'll be looking at a Major League Baseball game, and it looks like we're having another underdog. What a way to start the show with 3 straight dogs on this game. Gotta like on this show. Gotta like that. Jovan, how you doing?
You know me, coasting, everything smooth on this side, fellas. How about y'all?
It's going great out here in SoCal. And up in Canada, we'll see how well Chris is managing that weather up there.
Yeah, I can see snow outside, so we're getting past it. But it's a daily struggle up here.
I bet. All right, absolutely. All right, Jovan, you got the game here. White Sox to host the Rangers, 8 Eastern Time. White Sox laying $1.40. Total sits at 8.
Yeah, so I'm on the Rangers in this one. Now they come into this one with a 9-10 record. And from a better perspective, they've been getting us a lot of money. Now they got Dane Dunning on the mound today, and he's a former pitcher of the White Sox, so he should want some get back. After being traded in the offseason. He's a good pitcher. He's 1-0 with a .60 ERA and a .80 WHIP. He hasn't given up a run in the last 14 innings, and that's damn good. Now, for the Rangers, the only thing that they need to tighten up on is their bullpen, because they're second worst. They have the second worst bullpen in Major League Baseball. So, in this one, I'm gonna need Dane Dunning to pitch more than the 5 innings average that he's been pitching. Now, for the White Sox, they're Mets are Mets. 99 on the season. And they got Dylan Cease going on the mound. He's 0-3, 3.86 ERA, and a 1.71 WHIP. Just a mediocre pitcher. And I think the Rangers get it done. That in the last 6 games as an underdog, they're 5-1. So I think they cash tonight.
All right, we got Jovan Burts here at plus 125 Rangers against the White Sox. Looking here at the White Sox, when they face right-handed pitching, minus 4.5 units for the White Sox this year.
Yeah, and I mean, you know what, Tony, I can already tell you, I can already hear the complaints in the head. He's agreeing with everything, but again, this is another one that I can't disagree with, because Dane Dunning was a pitcher that I was looking at on the board today as well, and I just couldn't get the premium in because there was no line for this game before I was going to put it up. But this was going to be a premium for me because Jovan's right. Dane Dunning facing his former team would like to get a little bit of revenge. And as much as I'm a Dylan Cease guy, you can say, he's had bad luck this season. You can only use that excuse for so long before maybe he's just in a down year. And as anemic as Texas's offense has been this season, I think Dane Dunning gets revenge against his former team. I like Texas here as well.
All right, agreement here. Texas Ranger plus 125 against Chicago White Sox. This one begins 8 Eastern Time, MLB Extra Innings channel. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Premium. Lots of NBA tonight, some baseball as well. What you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, so it's Friday, so it's time to take flight on the books with my Take Flight Friday 7-pack. Now, in my 7-pack, I got 4 NBA plays and 3 MLB plays. Trying to sweep the board. I love this card today. Let's do it. Got my 3. If you want that value, check out my 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day package. You'll get the value. It's all there at Pick Dog and Sports Chat place. Or you could match me up with one of the fellas here, Chris, Tony T, Rod Zawacky, or one of the other guys. Whoever you choose, just match them up with me, fellas and ladies.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Jovan Burts over at Pig Dogs Premium. He's got a one night pass tonight. A lot of action for you there. get that one-day pass and make that upgrade to long-term if you'd like. 3, 7, and 30-day pass. And, of course, the great best value there is that 2-for-1 capper special when you match up Jovan with another capper. All sports pass means you get every play the cappers release over the site. You set the terms. We make the purchase over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, Jovan, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night. Stick around because we'll use you at the end of the show with the recap.
All right. So see y'all. Have a good weekend, and see you on Monday.
All right, Jovan Burts here on the drive-thru. I will continue on with our coverage, guys. Keep those thumbs up, those likes coming in. And if you happen to just show up to the show, we'll recap every play at the end, so be sure to stay tuned. Let's continue on here. And, Chris, we're going to give you a little break here. Now it's time to go to Skype and welcome Ninos to the show. So we'll go ahead and bring him in here in just a second. Ninos, by the way, #1 in the NHL this season. So, of course, he's coming in with an NHL play for you. So let's go ahead and welcome Al here in just a second here. We'll find him. As I said, we have a lot of cappers now on our show. So that's a good thing. All right, Ninos, how you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, let's take out the hockey matchup here between the Blackhawks hosting the Predators. 8 Eastern time. Predators going to lay $1.31 total, 5.5.
Yeah, you mentioned #1 NHL capper, but unfortunately can't win them all. This is one I was on the wrong side of last time. But the Predators will be getting their rematch here. They lost 5-4 last time in overtime in Chicago. This game will be in Chicago again. They won the first game of this 3-game series in Nashville. So looking for them to break the tie here. They're still the hotter team right now. Saros was doing great for them in goal before that last game where he allowed those 5 goals. But he should come out a lot sharper tonight. Chicago was on a nice run. As I mentioned when I picked Nashville last time with Kevin Lankin, but yeah, he cooled off, and then now they're going back to Subban again. And he earned, or should I say, got the win in that last game, but he did allow 4 goals, as I mentioned earlier. And I don't think he's going to get as much goal support, if you will, from his offense this time around. So yeah, definitely looking at the Predators here again to come and get their payback. I'm taking them on the money line mostly, but I usually like to do it by putting like just about a quarter of your bet on the puck line. You can bring it down from a -135 to a -106, which is well worth it to me. So yeah, I would throw a bet on the puck line as well.
All right, Ninos here is going with Nashville, and how can you argue that? Because they had won this year. This will be their 8th meet of the season, and it looks like Nashville has won 6 of the 7 games.
Yeah, they've dominated this matchup, and it's just a slip up. Saros averaging, let me check the number again, 2.32 goals a game. So for him to allow 5 goals is not something he's done often or will be doing often again anytime soon. So I like the Predators to get their payback here.
All right, Al here, Nashville Predators -131 against the Blackhawks. This one will begin at 8 Eastern time, NHL Center Ice package. All right, Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll go ahead and bring up let's bring it back here in just a second here. We're going to look at your record here. Sometimes you always have to be camera ready, guys. You never know what's going to happen. So good thing Goran was camera ready. He'll be on in a little bit. All right, let's take a look at your numbers here. Nearly 1,500 units of profit here in the NHL. It's document #1. What you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Couple NHL plays I liked slightly better than this one, and got 2 MLB, and then my best bet of the night in the. Actually, I do have 4 MLB plays, so yeah, I did like some plays there as well. So went a little heavy on the MLB tonight. Found the play I really liked in the NBA. This one, I mean, it's been a rough season in the NBA, but this one should come through. I really like this play a lot. And yeah, I always love my NHL plays. So yeah, check them out.
All right, guys, check out Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. See, he's #1 documented in 2021 in NHL. Nearly 1,500 units of profit. That's all documented. So you go check the site and see every play that he's listed. He's got a big one-day pass tonight. You want to grab that and, of course, take the winnings and make the upgrade to the long-term pass. And, of course, that 2-for-1 capper special is the best value. You can match up Big Al with Little Al, right? Al #1 in NHL, Big Al #1 overall. Or you can select another capper. Of course, James Clark #1 in the NBA. So make your choice there when you go to Pick Dogs Premium. Get on board with Al Ninos. All right, Al, as always, great having your show. Continue that success, my man, and we'll talk with you next week.
All right, have a good one, guys. Yeah, have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
I'll see you on Monday. Al Ninos here on the drive-thru. Let's switch back to Chris Ruffolo, ready to go here. What do you think about that Nashville and Chicago Blackhawk game?
You know what, Al? Again, it's the reason he's at the top of the mountain. I can't disagree with that because Tony, like you said, Nashville's 6-1 this season in terms of playing Chicago, and I think that Nashville also needs that game more. Chicago's starting to fade out of the playoff race, and Nashville's in a dogfight with Dallas right now for that last spot in the, I believe it's the Central Division. I don't know how the divisions are lined out this year, but Nashville needs that win more, so I would lean Nashville's way as well.
All right, Chris, we'll look at it that way as well. All right, we're going to take a look at the game now. It's time for Chris, front and center. Now, we're going to throw a tease out there for you. Chris really likes a UFC pick. Now, we're going to let Chris give that out during the recap session, okay? We're going to give you an NBA player right now, so we'll do the recap. So stay tuned for the recap. You'll get this will be one of his stronger plays. You really want to come with it. It's okay, Chris. We'll do it on the recap. All right, let's look at the game for here tonight. Nets to host the Celtics, 7:30 Eastern time. This is your ESPN TV game. Nets here going to be laying 3.5. Total sits here at 224. Sorry, yes, Brooklyn is the favorite in this one.
Yeah, and I think the big story for tonight is, will Kevin Durant come back? And the line has been shifting. We've seen it around 3.5, up at 5.5 when it opened, down around 4.5. It's been all over the place. But I'm starting to really wonder how much of his return really makes how much of a difference. I'm tongue-tied. I don't know what I can say anymore. How much of a difference Kevin Durant makes for tonight. Yes, we've said when Kevin Durant comes, he comes to do business, and that's not going to change. But the numbers don't lie. Brooklyn this year, 4-7 against the spread this year when Durant and Kyrie Irving are playing, but without James Harden. Harden's going to miss this game with his bum hamstring. And, we saw it with Anthony Davis last night. He was on a minutes restriction. And I think that Kevin Durant's going to be on a minutes restriction here as well, and you're going to see the effect of that. Kevin Durant played 18 minutes when he came back from injury last time.
I got to interrupt you here for 1 second. There is a report out that Durant now is out of this game.
So there we go. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. And James Harden going to be out again anyways. And I've said before, if Kyrie Irving is by himself on this team, it doesn't make a difference. The Nets are not the same team when Kyrie Irving is by himself on the floor. It just doesn't seem to matter. This Brooklyn team just doesn't play well with him leading the charge. Jaylen Brown, he's again probably going to miss this game as well. But the Celtics did well. They held their own against the Suns. They held the Suns to 86 points. I think they're going to be able to stay within the number here as well, if not win this game outright. So I'm taking the Celtics all the way here.
All right, Chris will be here on the Boston Celtics plus 3.5 here against the Brooklyn Nets. And it's hard to argue with that because we talked about the rest advantage that Boston had against that Phoenix Suns game that we kind of butted heads the other day on. And one thing about the Celtics is, that 2 days off. They had 2 days off prior to that game. They played a slow pace. They kept the score low. And one thing about the Celtics, they do play a lot of guys and they have depth, and that might help them here in this spot against a Nets team without two of their superstars.
Yeah, and I mean, Tony, one of the things I got to give you credit for mentioning that was Brad Stevens. You give this guy a ton of time to prepare. He's going to be prepared for whatever you throw at him, and that was the case with the Suns. I think that's going to be the case even on a back-to-back here against the Nets. I think we're starting to see in the dichotomy of today's NBA is when you have a team that has a bunch of star players on it, and in the load management era, these guys have legitimate injuries, but when you're not seeing those star players consistently on the floor, it results in a big drop-off that you see in the product of that game when those guys are sitting out, and I think that's what's going to happen with the Nets here. As much of an all-star as we say that Kyrie Irving is, the proof is in the pudding that Kyrie Irving, the Nets just don't play well when it's just him leading the charge. He needs a supporting cast member. And the two best options for that are both out tonight in Harden and Durant. So I really like the value that we're getting with the Celtics here.
And I also believe the Celtics need to close strong. They need to get all that bad news about how the season went. The first half, maybe 2/3 of the season has been pretty terrible. They close strong. They can erase all that mess that happened in the first 2/3 of the season.
Well, and how many times do we always say it's like these teams like the Clippers or the Lakers or whatever, you can have a disastrous stretch of the season, but the playoffs are just where you have to do your best. I mean, the playoffs, it's basically the first team to 16 wins the championship, and that's all you have to worry about. And I think that's the same thing with the Celtics here. All you're worrying about at that point, you're playing for positioning to make sure you're in the playoffs, but then you're also just playing to worry about who you're facing in the postseason. And I think as long as the Celtics get there, like Tony, like you said, this is a deep enough core that the Celtics have that they can weather that storm, and they can. And we've seen it before. They can give some teams some scares, and I can tell you right now, the Boston Celtics are not a team that I'd want to face in the postseason.
All right, agreement here. This one to go off at 7:30 Eastern Time. It's on ESPN. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Premium. Good night of action tonight. We got, 14 games remaining in Major League Baseball. We've got a big board of NBA. What you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
You know what? Today I had to do a bit of an overhaul on my page, and what we did was we had the Friday free-for-all, which is our daily package. You're going to get 2 plays from both the NHL and MLB, as well as my top play from the NBA tonight as well. That's going to be some great value on the board for you guys. Also, like we said all the time, we got those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day packages. Got the 2-for-1 capper deal where you can match myself up. You can do the host combo with me and Tony T. You can do me and Jovan. You can do me and James Clark. You can do the puck dog pairing with me and Rod Zawacky. But also, the season passes are up there. Told you guys yesterday I was going to take a look at that. What we're doing is we're putting up a playoff package for both the NHL and NBA. Both are up there right now for $2.99. They're just going to get you the stretch drive up until the playoffs. And then, the playoff hockey is where we make our money. And I finished number 3 in the bubble last year in the NBA. So there's going to be a ton of value, a ton of money to be made. Go check those out at Pig Dogs Premium. I can promise you we're going to put cash in your pocket.
That's right, guys. Check out Chris Ruffolo over at Pig Dogs Premium. Get that one-day pass tonight. And, of course, keep an eye for those NBA and NHL regular season, close the season passes that he'll have available shortly there over at Pig Dogs Premium. That 2-for-1 capper is your best value there on the site. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's give a ring over to James Clark. Number 1 in the NBA this season, doing fantastic work. He came in yesterday with the Dallas Mavericks. He got there with the Mavericks. He's been very good on the show as well as for the premium plays. So let's go ahead and dial in James Clark right now. And let's find him right here. He is right now. James, how's it going?
Pretty good. How y'all guys?
All right, we're doing good. We're doing good. All right, we're looking here at an NBA game here, and this one is an interesting one with the Hawks to host the Heat here. The Heat now up to a 5.5-point favorite, total 211.5.
Yeah, Tony. As you look at this game, man, if the Hawks was healthy, I'd probably lean with the Hawks. But that's the reason this line is 5.5. I mean, you got almost all of the Hawks' best players out, and and for me, for that, I know the Heat's been struggling, but I really think they come in and get the win here. You look at the last 10 games, the Hawks has won 7 of their last 10 games. Heat's won 6 of their last 10 games. But you can't look at that tonight because, like I said, I mean, the Hawks have, Trae Young's out. I think Capella's going to be out. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on of all the Hawks players out. So, I mean, this should be an easy win for the Heat. I mean, if they play, I know they got a few injuries out, but they played all year without Victor Oladipo. They played all year. They was a good team, and I look for them to do the same again here. So I really like the Heat to win by 6 or more.
All right, James Clark here looking here at the Miami Heat here, minus 5.5. Although that line could be trickling up a little bit as I look at it now here. Capella has been ruled out as well. So a lot of injuries here on the Hawks side, Chris.
Yeah, there are. And Tony, I'm not going to lie to you. I was staying far away from this game tonight because of that, because of all the question marks. And I think we saw from the Memphis Grizzlies right now that there is no such thing as a sure thing even when you have guys out on the bench. This should be a comfortable win for Miami. But like I said, I'm still a bit gun-shy after the Clippers beat up on Memphis with nobody in the lineup last week. So I'm probably taking a pass on this one.
Well, looking at a pass here, but the Hawks here without much depth and could look ugly. Of course, all depends on Miami's focus and determination here. They've been playing well the past few games. James Clark here on the Heat here, laying the points against the Atlanta Hawks. All right, James, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Premium, where you're doing fantastic work. Number 1 in the NBA for 2021, 1,525 units of profit, all documented there on the site. What you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Well, I got a 5-pack going on, 4 of my best NBA plays, and 1 MLB play I really love. As I am number 1, as you see in the NBA, I appreciate y'all guys' support. Everybody. I'm new. I've only been on here for 3 or 4 months, but I appreciate everybody's support out there. And another thing I want to throw out with the Heat pick is the under. With all them players out and the Heat plays defense, the under is a good bet too. But you can take my 5 plays tonight, and after we go 5-0, you can get my 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day, or team me up with any of the other cappers on here. And also, as I said last night when I was on the show, I did get a package up for now all the way until we crown a champion in the NBA. If you go look at that, I'm going to drop the price down $50 until my next show appearance should be on Tuesday. So right since I get off here, I'm going to drop it down to $50. So if you want to go get that, you pretty much getting 2 months worth of NBA plays for 1 month price. So go look at that and grab my today package or any other pack, and I'll put some money in your pockets, fellas.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with James. Get on board here with James Clark over at Pig Dogs. When you see the numbers here, 1,525 units of profit for 2021. That is documented. I'm looking at his profile page now. NBA rest of the season pass until we crown a champion. $399, about $400 there for the rest of the NBA season for the #1 handicapper over at Pig Dogs Premium. You know this NBA season go for at least for another 3 months because this season started late, so it's going to finish. The NBA Finals will finish in mid-July, so almost 3 months of action here from James Clark in the NBA. #1 document. So go over to the site right now, pick up that rest of the season pass right now for $399 from James Clark over at Pig Dogs Premium. James, as always, great having your show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you next week.
All right, Tony. And also, as you said there, it's $3.99. But as soon as I get off here, I'm going to drop it to $50 until I'm back on the show. So it's going to go down to $3.50. So if y'all want to wait about 30 minutes and go look at it then.
All right. Great value there from James Clark. All right, James, have a good night. We'll talk to you next week. James Clark here on the Drive Thru. Look for that price reduction here next half an hour for James Clark's rest of the season pass. Scroll down there. You'll find it there on his profile page. That's a great value from the #1 capper in the NBA, documented over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, let's continue on here on the show. It's time to welcome Goran Kucar here on our drive-through show. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. He covers the English soccer, world soccer for us here on the show, and as well as Sports Chat Place. And let's go ahead and dial him right now. Goran, how's it going today?
Hey, Tony. Hey, Chris. I'm good.
All right, let's take a look at this game you're looking at tonight. Chelsea and West Ham. Now we got the two-way line here. Chelsea about -1.5, one. West Ham +0.5 and a +1 goal.
You know, as Leeds was great surprise at the start of the season, West Ham has been the fantastic surprise for the entire season, and they've been competing with the best and the biggest teams in the EPL with ease this season, and they are on the verge of the Champions League spot in the EPL. They're playing good soccer. They're scoring goals, and with a win here against Chelsea, they will get to that 4th place that will take them to the Champions League next season. And I really hope they can do that because they have nice depth. They have pretty good strikers. They have a striker that arrived from Manchester United, and he scored 9 goals in 10 games for West Ham. He's been in great shape, and he's expected to start in this game as well. And Chelsea has been through a rough period this week with the European Super League going on and stuff, and they are playing in the Champions League next week against Real Madrid, which should be a tough game for them. And for that reason, I think they will rest some players here. Not risk any injuries, and I'm going to take West Ham or draw at home for +100. But if you feel confident, you can take just West Ham to win for +350. That's a great line, and I think it's a win.
All right, Goran here on this West Ham winner draw +100 against Chelsea. All right, Chris, what say you in this one?
I have to agree on this one as well. I mean, that's great value for covering off 2-year bases. I mean, when you consider that Chelsea does have, a ton of stuff going on in the background, and this is also a team that gave up 5 goals to West Brom a couple of games ago. West Brom, a team that may end up getting relegated this season. I just think that the defensive effort from Chelsea has slipped, and West Ham's no joke this season. This is a team that could actually end up fighting for Europa League spots. So I like the value here of West Ham, at even money to get a win or a draw here.
All right, agreement here on West Ham winner draw +100 against Chelsea. All right, Goran, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Premium. What big soccer weekend coming up? What you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, the title races and even the Champions League spot races are heating up in most of the European leagues. If you take a look at the French Ligue 1, there are 4 teams within 3 points. La Liga is still heating up. We have 4 teams competing for the title. It's going to be a fun weekend. There are a lot of good games tomorrow and Sunday and even Monday. And then again, we have the Champions League semifinals next week, which should also be a few good games. But for now, I'll probably have another 5 or 7 pack for tomorrow, getting ready soon. And of course, a lot of free content that Sport Chat plays every day.
All right, guys, get on board here with Goran over at Pig Dogs Premium. You got the free content there, but of course, get on board with a long-term pass that he has available over at Pig Dogs Premium. One-day pass as well for big Saturday action. All right, Goran, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night and weekend, and we'll talk with you next week.
My pleasure, guys. See you next week.
All right, Goran Kucar here on the drive-thru. Just a reminder, guys, keep those thumbs up, those likes coming in. We greatly appreciate it. And, of course, at the end of the show, we're going to recap all the plays. And Chris will have a special pick for you from the UFC for Saturday, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's continue on here on the show. Now it's time for yours truly to come in with my play. It'll be from the NBA tonight in that Grizzlies and Trailblazers game. So I'll put up the game information for you right now. Trailblazers is the host of the Grizzlies 10 Eastern Time NBA League Pass channel. It's the Trailblazers laying 3.5, total 232. I'm going to take the underdog in this one. I'm going to take the points with the Memphis Grizzlies at plus the 3.5. And, you know, only Valanciunas is on that injury report for the Grizzlies. That's the cleanest list I've seen for Memphis in a long, long time. There's always been 2 or 3 players on that. Now it's only Valanciunas. And look at their past 5 games. They are making 49% of their shots, nearly 41% from 3. They've covered 11 of 14 and look to make amends after that embarrassing loss to the Clippers. That's been stewing in them. Their form is good enough for me to believe that they'll make a bounce back here. Portland has lost 5 of 6. I know they're getting their guards will be intact here, but their offensive form is poor over their past 5 games, allowing 47% shooting, 38% from 3. Now, in that 14-game period, the Grizzlies sit second in offensive efficiency, 118 points per 100 possessions. I'm going to take the 3.5 here with Chris because Portland has a tendency to play those really close games at home against quality opponents.
Of course. Yeah, they completely do. And, you know, I saw some crazy number that Portland's 1-10 against teams that are in the top 5 in the Western Conference this year. The difference for me, though, is that, you know, Memphis isn't in that group of teams. And like I said, I'm still gun-shy about how Memphis performed against the Clippers. And, you know, even with no Valanciunas, that's still a big hole in the middle. My initial lean was towards the Blazers, but again, just with so much uncertainty between these two teams, like you said, Portland losing 5 of 6, and the Grizzlies is, you know, performing well on the offensive end, but again, you know, failing to show up against a banged-up Clippers team. I still probably lean towards the Blazers, but it's a lean.
Lean there here with Portland. I'll be on Grizzlies plus 3.5. Guys, check out Pig Dogs Premium. I have a 3-pack going on tonight, mixing up some baseball and NBA. So look me up there. I also have the long-term passes, so 3, 7, and 30-day pass there on the site. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru, guys. Now it's time to go ahead and recap the plays from tonight's show. So let's take a look at it right now. Jovan Burts will join us here on this segment. We got started here with Joe Duffy. Wizards laying 10 against the Thunder. We had Joe D'Amico, Nationals plus 259 against the Mets. Rod Zawacky, D-backs plus 147 against the Braves. Jovan, Rangers plus 125 against the White Sox. Al Ninos, Predators laying minus 131 against the Blackhawks. Chris, Celtics plus 3.5 against the Nets. James, Heat minus 5.5 against the Hawks. Goran, take West Ham winner draw plus 100 return against Chelsea. Yours truly, Grizzlies plus 3.5 against the Trailblazers. We'll start with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
All right, I've got to go with Rod and keep it on the puck dogs here. I love the D-backs plus 147 against Atlanta.
All right, I'll go over to Jovan. Jovan, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I was gonna go with the Heat, but that line's ran up to 6.5, 7. So I'm gonna roll with the Celtics. You know, double revenge spot, and you know, got Kyrie leading the charge, and when he's leading the charge without KD or James Harden, should like the Celtics' chances. They actually went outright also. So, but you could take the 3 points.
All right, I'm going to agree there with Jovan here. Look at Chris's play, Celtics plus 3.5 against the Nets. And before we go, we promised you Chris's play. He liked this a lot here from the USC on Saturday. What you got, Chris?
Oh, it's going to be a 2-leg parlay. It's going to pay out minus 110. You're going to take Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal in the main event to go the distance. It's going to be about minus 177. We're going to take Valentina Shevchenko. It's a heavy line, but that's going to still bring the juice down from minus 450 to it's, like I said, the probably is going to be about minus 110. Usman and Masvidal, they met, that was with no camp on both sides, and it still went the distance. Masvidal, his last 10 fights have gone to a decision. I think that's going to be a war throughout. As far as Shevchenko goes, Jessica Andrade, who's going into that fight, she's struggled big time against against fighters like Shevchenko, who have a reach advantage and a height advantage. We saw, Andrade get pummeled against Rose Namajunas. I think we have another beat down here from Shevchenko, basically the most dominant fighter not named Amanda Nunes. So I like that a lot. Shevchenko to win on the money line, and Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman to go the distance.
All right, Chris Ruffolo here, UFC 261. Just a question to you, Jovan. Do you follow UFC? Do you bet it at all?
Not at all. Just, on the periphery. But I don't bet it at all now.
Gotcha. All right, guys, that'll do it for another edition here of The Drive-Thru. Tune in on Monday. We do it all over again, 6 p.m. Eastern Time with those live free sports picks from the primetime games. And don't forget, it all gets started every day. So Saturday, tune in 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. For the morning show, we got Mitch, we got Rod Zawacky, and Brian Biller back in the chair on Saturday. All right, let's bring in the crew from today's show. Let's give a nice wave goodbye. Before we do, we got a birdcage pick here from Rod Zawacky here. We got D-backs, Nashville, and the Flyers. That's a plus 920 return there. A nice gift there from Rod Zawacky. We thank him a lot for that. Good night to everybody, and we'll talk with you guys Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.